Hey guys, what's going on? Greg with SWEN Arms and Training. Today's topic is dedicated holsters and the different types of holsters that I've went through whenever I first started trying to learn the basics and the fundamentals of firearms training. So we have this holster that I had for about a year. Actually, I've had it longer than that, but I only used it for about a year, and then I pretty much stopped training with it just because I would say that this wasn't the holster that I was looking for. Don't get me wrong, Alien Gear makes some nice stuff, but in my opinion, it's just not for me. So this is the Alien Gear passive retention holster. There's a little clip inside. This little bar right here that has a little detent in it. That way when you put your firearm in, that detent locks it into place and kind of keeps it held there. And that's basically how this holster works. There's no other kind of retention around the holster other than that detent right there. So this one's really good. I like the adjustability factor of it, which is pretty nice, but again, I just don't think this holster was for me anymore, so I discontinued using it. And this was one of my first holsters that I started trying to implement into my training, which was pretty nice. But after training with a couple of law enforcement officers and some private contractors, they said that the type of application with this holster was kind of unnecessary and not very useful in the draw technique. So I took some of their advice and stopped using it. The next one is another outside the waistband holster. This one's Uncle Mike's Tactical passive retention holster. This one's really good too. This one has a paddle, which you just put on your belt, at the 3 o'clock position, and train all day with it. It's a pretty basic holster, passive retention, again, right around the trigger guard area is where the detent is, so that's where it clips into place and it holds it into place really nicely. I personally haven't actually used this. This was a friend of mine's. He needed a holster at the time that we were doing training, so we went to Walmart, found one that was pretty nice, and bought it for the training session. So probably gonna end up giving this away because I don't really use it. I don't need it. Anybody that wants a Glock 17 holster from Uncle Mike's, hit me up. So there's that. This one is a Vetters holster. Vetters, whatever. This one's an inside the waistband, and this one is the appendix carry holster. This one's pretty nice. I like it. I had to modify it just because the sweat guard on it was pretty long and it was getting in the way whenever I was trying to obtain that master grip on my pistol. So I filed it down, and ever since then it's been super nice, super easy to conceal. And I put a couple hundred rounds through with this holster already. There's some kinks that I'm trying to work out with my daily carry, but that comes with the process of learning which pistol is best for you. And maybe I'll make a video about something like that. So yeah, inside the waistband holster, it's really nice. It's on the pricey side of like 79, 80 bucks, somewhere around there. But um, throughout my whole buying experiences has been pretty wide range of holsters that I've tried to use and implement. So it's more of a buy once, cry once kind of thing. And pretty sure a lot of you guys know about the whole buy one, cry once aspect. So there's that. The next one that I bought, which I thought was really, really good, was the T-Rex Arms sidecar holster. Come in plenty of different color applications. You can pick and choose your front and back plating. And I'm pretty sure they even sell different types of clips. And with this one is really nice. This one's for a Glock 17 too. This one is an appendix carry inside the waistband, and this one comes with a magazine holster, which is really nice. I really haven't had any issues regarding this holster, just because going through all of the other ones and finally getting to use this one and actually try it out, and using it over a year has really been the best kind of holster that I've ran into for concealed carry. I tried the Alien Gear shape shift, at the 6 o'clock position. Didn't really like it, just because in my head, if I can't see it and I know that it's printing, or I feel like it's printing, it kind of puts me on edge. It doesn't really, it kind of stresses me out a little bit. So knowing that it's right in front of me and I can see it and I can get to it and I know that it's not printing, kind of puts my mind at ease. And that's just a preference. So yeah, that's the inside the waistband. The next one is my greatest buy, I would say. This one is a Safariland holster. It's a ALS. So this one's also for Glock 17. This one has really been a big improvement on all my holsters that I've had throughout the probably past 2 to 3 years, maybe even 4. But this is probably the best kind of outside the waistband holster that you could buy, when you're doing anything. Basically, this is a duty holster, military holster. Anybody that I would say would open carry should probably get something like this, where you have a thumb release button, in order to get to your pistol. Passive retention is kind of a dangerous game when it comes to, close quarters, situations where you have a bad guy that's very close to you and can get to your gun as well as you. And the main thing you don't want to happen is them to actually grab your gun and being able to pull it out of the holster, with no active retention system on your holster. So this is kind of it's one safeguard on the whole, open carry, civilian type kind of deal. I usually take this whenever I go, up to the mountains and whatnot. It's pretty good. I like it. Done a lot of training with it, and again, I can't talk about this enough, This one comes with the QD, and all that stands for is a quick disconnect buckle. You have the prongs that go into, the female version. And this right here is a little leg clip that I've thrown onto it, because with the Safarilands, even though it's attached to your belt, sometimes if you don't draw the pistol right, the bottom likes to flip out, And so what this does is it attaches it to your leg, so that way when you're going for that draw, it doesn't, flip out as much. So there's that. And then this little thing right here is a magazine holster. It's pretty nice. It's by a Vetter also. I got it with the Ruger SR9C holster. And these ones are pretty nice so far. It's for double stack. I don't think it'll fit a single stack, but I haven't tried yet. This one has a little retention device right here, so you can widen it or, pinch it even tighter for smaller double stacks. And this one right here is also for the appendix carry, right up on the other side, along with the Vetter holster. That would be right there. Or you could even move it to the side, however you want to do it. But those are basically like 90% of all the holsters that I bought. And what I wanted to touch on with everybody in this video is basically to pick a dedicated holster in a dedicated position, like 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Pick a dedicated holster. Pick a dedicated position on which, you want to train with. And then also, getting your mag holster seated in the correct position that you want it. Whether it be on your appendix or on your hip. Pick those designated spots and train with them every single time, because that's ideally what you're going to look for whenever you're in a fight or flight situation where you need to defend yourself, With my Safariland, I always practice in the 3 o'clock position, and I have some magazine holsters that are on a belt setup that I put together, and those magazine holsters are always in a fixed position as well. So that way when I practice my drills, everything's always in the same spot. It's muscle memory basically. And the more muscle memory you gather, doing these repetitions over and over and over, the better you're going to be when it comes to a situation where you need to draw and present your weapon, And even with the Vetter holsters, I've practiced with this, a few hundred rounds, but I need to practice even more because I've ran into some kinks with my everyday carry, and that's just with my everyday carry. That's not with this holster. I've already fixed the kink in this holster. So, again, pick a dedicated holster for whichever gun. And that's another thing too, is pick a dedicated carry. Pick one, stick with it, get training with it. You could pick like 3, 5, 10, as long as you have the dedicated holsters for those pistols or, those firearms, and you have dedicated mag carriers for that application, pick them and stick with them and get training with them. So I'm probably gonna do like maybe 30 repetitions with this Vetter holster, practicing getting that master grip, presenting, even dry fire practice is really good. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys with today's video. SWEN Arms training. Remember, get that training in, guys. And I hope everybody's doing all right with the coronavirus, pandemic going on. I'd really hate to see anybody that I know get sick. So if you know somebody, who's a high risk possibility, just try to be safe and don't get sick. And if you are sick, stay the hell away from all the rest of the high risk people. But that's all I have for today. Later.